On the last episode, you guys saw me profit $1,375 in only an hour and a half while going fishing in the sea full of guppies at the amazing TCH Social Club in Austin, Texas. However, the fun was ended fairly quickly when Big Red came up to my table asking me if I wanted to play on the live stream. Now, for those of you that watched vlog number 23, you guys know exactly how I felt about playing on a live stream.
I don't want to play with them. Like, I'm up $1,000. I'm in a good game. Not saying their game is bad, but I've never played a live stream before. I'm nervous as shit.
But I couldn't let them know that. So here I am, reluctantly walking up to the table, getting ready to go on my very first live stream. But before that, I had already made one trip up to the live stream table to check on my friend Big Red, who was already playing. And when I got up there, to my surprise, I was greeted by Fireman Scott.
How you doing?
Houston, how you doing, brother?
Nice to meet you. Oh. Nice to meet you, man. Thank you. Thank you. That's encouraging. That's encouraging. Thanks, man.
And not only was he aware of my existence, but he also told me that he was a huge fan of the vlog.
Let's go, Scott!
Go, big dog! Next one's for me, this one's for Houston. All right, this one's for Houston.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This was very encouraging to hear because I'm almost certain that all of my vlogs are dog shit. And for a Texas poker legend to actually disagree with me and actually enjoy my vlogs, that was awesome to hear, to say the least. So again, Fireman Scott, thanks for the support, bro. But back to me walking up to my very first live stream with my chips in hand. So I get up to the table, and you guys already know from the last episode that I'm beyond nervous. So I decided to introduce myself to Wolfgang Poker and then proceeded to introduce myself to the rest of the table to get some of the nerves off. I then get to the most legendary poker player at the table, Mr. Greg Raymer. He's accomplished every poker player's dream by winning the 2004 World Series of Poker.
Mr. Raymond.
How you doing, sir?
Nice to meet you.
What's
Love
your
your
name?
work. Valdez.
Valdez.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
So I then proceed to call him out by name and tell him that it's nice to meet him and that I loved his work. And that, my friends, is why I don't take silly YouTube comments too seriously. Because on my last vlog, I had a couple of you guys in the comment section accusing me of not knowing who Mr. Raymer is and not acknowledging him and all type of BS. Look, I started this poker channel because I'm such a fan of the game. I grew up watching the World Series of Poker as a kid, so obviously I know all of the legends. I'm not a casual. But anyway, I then introduced myself to the rest of the poker pros at the table, and now it's time to get into the action. Now let's get to it.
That's why you get these
Valdez.
little-
All right, Valdez coming in
Instead
to
of
the
like
one
doing like a
seed.
protractor type circle.
David DiCarlo says Valdez in the house. Is he playing? All right, apparently Valdez has some notoriety. Let's go.
So we're here. It's time. This is my very first live stream, and I must say that it's so weird seeing myself on a live stream. I get to the table, and 4G is the only one that isn't nervous. But as I'm filming 4G at his first live stream table, Wolfgang Poker turns into a Karen and tells me that I'm not allowed to have my phone out at the poker table. Hey, new guy, you can't have your phone out. And that if I keep it out, he's gonna call the floor on me. Hey guys, I'm completely joking. He definitely didn't tell me that. He actually said that he doesn't care if I have my phone out, but he just wanted to let me know that there's a no phone policy during the live stream and that the floor is eventually gonna call into the dealer and tell her to inform me that I can't have my phone out. And obviously, I forgot about that rule because I'm the doo-doo bird fish who's never been on a live stream previous to this day. But anyway, so guys, I've thought about what my commentary style is gonna be for live streams for a while now. And I've decided that the most entertaining way to narrate my live stream vlogs is to just put you guys in my head in that exact moment and act like I still don't know what my opponent has when I do my voiceovers. So for my vlogs that are on a live stream, You guys are going to be able to see all of the hold cards at all times. My cards and my opponent's cards. I'm not going to blur anything out. And I'll just commentate as if I still don't know my opponent's cards. Now let's get into the first interesting hand of the live stream.
9, she said, which surprises me.
David says Valdez is doing well for himself. Famous. Okay, great.
Not him.
What? It is.
What the fuck are you
He was
talking
supposed to
about?
pay up, bro.
He's 31? No,
Yeah.
he's not 31.
Yeah, I think my beef is very high. Just to be clear, it was Doug that's 31, right?
15, 31, 31, 23. 31 to 31.
Yeah.
4 31.
Dude, we're fucking.
All
right.
End of the
Push.
stream.
Push.
End of the stream. Whoever's highest. $100.
No, push.
We look down at my second hand of the live stream and I look down at pocket sixes in the hijack. Now obviously, I was unaware at the time, but the legend Greg Raymer just open mucked ace-9 of clubs. So yeah, it's probably going to be one of those games, if you know what I mean. The action folds to me and I decide to raise it up to $25 as a little pot builder for when I bink a set on my second hand of the stream. Fireman Scott folds his 10-4 offsuit. What a nit. And then Doug on the button 3-bets to $80.
It was 36.
4.
It was PLO, which does make a difference, but still.
Here we go.
36.
Doug here 3-betting the button over the open from
How many
Valdez.
those numbers even like hit me like, oh my gosh, couldn't believe.
No,
Like
hell
how
no.
I knew how loose everyone was, but when I saw the actual numbers, I was just like gobsmacked.
Back over to Valdez. He's going to make the call.
So now the action is back on me, and this is an obvious continue. However, I am out of position, and I'm going to hate most flops when I don't flop a set. But I do know that I'm about 50-50 pre-flop with most of his holdings that aren't overpairs. So I make the call, and we go heads up to the flop.
And we'll go heads up to a flop. Valdez buying in for right around
Yeah, I like
23,
your
2400. It
estimate
looks
earlier,
like
like, you know,
2400
14,
to start the hand.
15%.
We go off to a beautiful flop for my hand, which was 5-3-7 with 2 spades. I decide to check in flow to the pre-flop aggressor, and he decides to c-bet small for $50. I make the call with my second pair, and we go to the turn heads up.
Zoom lessons. I do private lessons with people on Zoom.
Check call from Valdez. Here we go to a turn. 275 in the middle.
The turn comes the Queen of Diamonds. Now, I don't love this card, but at this point in the hand, I was still pretty confident that I had the best hand. So my plan was to pretty much go into check call mode this hand. So I checked it over to Doug, and he checked back fairly quickly. Let's see the river card.
Thinking to myself, I would never bluff this river because I know I'm getting called so much more often than they are.
So we head to the river, which was the Deuce of Hearts. What a beautiful river card for my hand. And with my opponent quickly checking back the queen on the turn, I was about 99% sure that I had the best hand. It's not only because he checked the turn. I just had that feeling. You guys know that feeling, right? So this is the very first hand that I played on a live stream. And this is a rare moment in poker when I know exactly where I'm at in the hand. I was sure I had the best hand. So now it's time to check it over to my opponent on the button and just pray he bets so I can snap him off and look like a genius on stream and trick the viewers into thinking that I'm a better player than I actually am. Now is my time to shine. So I check it over to him. Now let's just pray he bluffs at it.
Value here. It's too thin. Don't do it. But then I would be like, but I will. I would go for thin value there because, again, I'm going to get
Check,
called
check,
way
turn,
more
check,
than
check,
you will.
river.
So unfortunately, he checked back right away. So I missed my chance to look like a genius on stream. But that's okay, because that's my first ever live stream hand. And I won over $140. So I'll take that. Now let's get to the next hand.
Small stakes game versus a mid stakes game or whatnot.
I've decided this is a good
Before we get to the next hand, look at these VPIP numbers. The legendary Greg Raymer has a VPIP of 9% after playing 113 hands. It looks like that ace-9 of clubs open muck was not a card reader error. And my guy Fireman Scott has a VPIP of 16%. And not surprising, but Big Red has a VPIP of 14%. Damn! Can someone please reach through their screen, snatch me off this table, and throw me back into the seat full of guppies from which I came? Please?
I mean, if I think
Greg
I
says
can
it's
bluff
not
you,
very
I
often that
definitely
I'm
do it.
the guy
I
trying to
just
run bluffs.
seldom
Well,
think I can.
Yeah.
9% VPIP checks out.
9 fold. Yes.
In the next interesting hand, I look down at pocket nines under the gun +2, and this was only my fourth hand of the stream. In an early position, I decided to just call the $20 straddle.
Couple of nines here for Valdez. Going to raise it up. Choctaw nuts no good for Greg. Big red, king queen. Here we go from the big blind.
The action gets to big red and he 3-bets to $125. I make the call and we go heads up to the flop.
Watch the stream to see you, but not just see you in a pink shirt. Just like see you like do a move or do something.
I wore this for Ken Paxton because I thought if any shirt color was going to maybe annoy him, it would be pink.
Everybody would love to see him pull off a big bluff. Huh?
Valdez makes the call.
I'm not going to
I know
insult
where you're going
him
with
or say anything because, I mean, I'm a very liberal person when it comes to politics.
So is Doug.
The flop comes ace jack 6 with 2 hearts and big red leads on this board for $100. And now the action is on me. And because I'm on stream, I consider continuing. But this ace high board is just gonna smash big red's 3-bet pre-flop 15% VPIP range. So I decided to just let this one go. Turns out he only had king high and he was c-betting his range. What do you poker pros think? In position with pocket nines on this ace high board, is this a continue or is this a fold? Please let me know in the comment section down below, because I cannot have big red beating me in poker hands. Never, never, never. Can't have it. Can't have it. But let's get to the next hand where I face off with Wolfgang Poker. I need all of my online Omaha grinders to download Poker Bros using the link in my description to play Pot Limit Omaha online with me. That link in my description will automatically place you in both of the clubs that I play in, Lucky Stars Entertainment and CMO. CMO, which is home of some of the juiciest online Omaha games in online poker, period. If you need help with loading chips or getting set up in any way, then make sure you join my Discord that's linked in my description, and we'll have a manager help you get set up and answer any questions that you may have. And if you already have Poker Bros downloaded, then make sure you hit the magnifying glass that's on the home screen and use the club IDs and referral IDs that are currently on the screen. And I'll see you guys soon on the field. Felt. Let's go! Finally the playoffs! Bitch ass niggas!
We're sticking to it.
You watched LeBron and LeBron debut yesterday?
I saw highlights.
You think Bronny will ever touch the floor again?
Yeah.
Really? Well, I'm talking about like this year, like next game.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll get minutes in every game?
Just because of
6 and 7 fold. 8
Do you think he deserves it though?
9 raises to 30.
that other rookie they have, that dude out of JV, he's way better.
Yes.
All right, Wolfgang going to open the queen 9 suited.
But the other dude,
So Wolfgang has raised to $30, and I look down at ace 10 of spades and the hijack. Now by this hand, I'm only 10 hands into the stream. So I'm just starting to get a feel for how this game is being played. But I was definitely starting to notice that this table is playing on the tighter side. So I decided to just take the passive route and call the $30. Now in a normal game that I'm familiar with, I would most definitely 3-bet this hand. But with it being my first time playing on stream and with my nerves kicking in, I just wanted to take the more passive route and just call here in position. Everyone else folds and we go heads up to the flop.
For 30, not 300.
yeah, they got
Valdez makes the call, covering spades.
I met somebody and he started getting emotional and cried.
The flop comes 8, 10, jack, rainbow, and Wolfgang checks it over to me. Now when he checks it over to me, here with second pair, top kicker, and backdoor spades, I'm going to have the best hand here most of the time here heads up. So on this draw heavy board, I decided to bet $30 to try to deny equity from any of his Queen X hands that all basically have straight draws, along with targeting his worst second pairs. I didn't think he had too many jacks in his range that check it over to me on this board, so I was pretty confident that I was ahead. But Wolfgang makes the call, and we head to the turn card.
And wow, what a flop here. Wolfgang drills it with the queen high straight, checks. Valdez, second pair, backdoor spades. Pretty much exactly the kind of hand that I would think to check back most of the time. Valdez disagrees. He is going to bet for 30. This will open the pot for Wolfgang, coming for the check raise. But instead, it's going to be a check call here. Doesn't want to scare his opponent off.
The turn came the 5 of hearts. Now I'm happy with this card because it changed nothing. I was pretty confident that I was ahead on the flop, so I should still be ahead after this blank turn card. And when Wolfgang checks it over to me yet again, I decide to bet $80 to make sure that he pays for that straight draw that I'm sure he has. He probably has a hand like king, queen, maybe ace, queen, something like that.
5 of hearts rolls off, and I presume we're going to get a check from Wolfgang again. We do.
Sure, I'll do the bump pot.
And now after Valdez gets the check and the call on the flop, is going to bet again 80 here. Hoping that Wolfgang has something like queen 10, king 10, 9 10 that didn't see bet the flop, I guess. Those are the sort of hands that you're targeting for value. 8 9.
Okay, it's been 4 hours. I'll get out of the way.
And here comes the check raise now. 275.
But after I bet $80 on the turn, Wolfgang Poker raises me to $275. Oh, hell no. I know he's full of it and has nothing. This Wolfgang guy must think he can push me around because I'm a baby poker vlogger with no subscribers. Well, not on my watch. He thinks he's going to set the tone against me in our first hand against each other with some kind of semi-bluff and get away with it? No way. I'm going to make the call because now he's repping a really strong hand, some kind of draw like king, queen, or absolutely nothing. And I'm leaning toward the latter too for sure. So I make the call for $275. Now let's see if he shuts this semi-bluff down on the river.
Yeah, this is the danger of betting in position with hands that don't really want to play big pots. Certainly don't want to see check raises. Because if you have the best hand, you're never going to know if you're good on the river, right? Like any card can change the texture. You might already be behind. Like, what are your chances of improving? Drilling an ace or a 10? Is that even good? Who knows? Does make the call. 685 in the middle. It's a queen.
Now the river came the queen of diamonds, and I definitely hated to see that card because all of the drawing hands that I put him on the turn got there. Hands like king, queen, ace, queen, hell, any queen X. So when Wolfgang led small on this card for $225.
Fold 2 pairs. Let's see if he bets middling.
Most 5-card draw games that you
Oh,
find
small.
out in poker rooms are triple draw, meaning you're going to get your hand and
255. Yeah, just a tickle here.
Second draw and bet. Third draw, bet, and then it's showdown. So you're going to end up with 3 draws, 4 rounds of betting, and you're playing usually.
Tom, yeah, absolutely. Lottie hates ace queen.
So whoever makes the highest hand gets half the pot. Whoever makes the lowest hand gets half.
Tax my cash.
And you get to draw 3 times. And that is a
Wesley,
very,
Kevin
very
check raised to 100 on a bet at 25. It was relatively modest. Valdez does find the fold, and Wolfgang is going to drag a nice little pot. That's our first pot near $1,000 for quite some time, so that'll be nice for him and his bottom line, as that will move him further into the positive. 775 of profit here.
I reluctantly make the pretty easy fold. Now that was the second to last hand of the stream, and right after the stream, Wolfgang came up to me and told me what you guys already knew, and that's that he flopped the nut straight. So every dollar that I put into the pot after the flop was purely a donation. Now, was that an unlucky flop? Of course it was, especially because I had covering spades. But I still could have played that hand 100 times better. And I'm not that familiar with that commentator, but shout out to him for basically finding the nicest way on every street to say that I had no clue what I was doing. I thought that was hilarious.
Valdez makes the call, covering spades. Pretty much exactly the kind of hand that I would think to check back most of the time. Valdez disagrees. He is going to bet for 30. This will open the pot for Wolfgang. Is going to bet again 80 here. Hoping that Wolfgang has something like Queen 10, King 10, 9 10 that didn't see bet the flop, I guess. Those are the sort of hands that you're targeting for value, 8 9. And here comes the check raise now, 275. Yeah, this is the danger of betting in position with hands that don't really want to play big pots. Certainly don't want to see check raises.
But now the stream is over, thank God. But I'm not out of the woods yet, because Big Red has now asked me if I want to play more off stream with the pros who stayed after the stream was already over. And I told him yes, but yet again, I don't want to play with them. Not only because I couldn't find the fish at the table, and you guys know what they say when you can't find the fish. That probably means you're the fish. But it's not only because of that. It was just a boring game in general, if I'm being honest. But again, like the last episode, I tell Big Red yes, and then I head outside and tell you guys how I really feel.
So you guys just saw how that went. And they just asked me, so the stream is over, and they just asked me, am I leaving? And hell yeah, I want to leave. But I was like, Red, are you leaving? Are you playing? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta stay. I don't want to play with these guys, man. I just don't, but I ain't gonna let them know that. I'm only gonna tell you guys that. But I don't want to play with them. They're all better than me. But I gotta represent for the fish, right? Do I have to represent for the fish? Is this what this... Am I the represent? I am the king fish. I mean, I think I have to put my big boy pants on, go in there and represent for all the fish. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's go finish the session. Wish me luck.
Hey, fuck. 4 hearts exposed, live 40. You heard what the man said, live 40. So yes, the stream is over, and now we're playing 5, 10, 20 with the optional unlimited straddle. This is about the 5th hand after the stream when I look down at pocket jacks in the big blind, and there's been a straddle to $40.
What is that during the stream, bro?
130. Big Red is a small blind, and he raises to $130. The action folds to me, and here with pocket jacks, I decided to just call Big Red's raise. Now I could re-raise, with my hand definitely being strong enough, but I decided to disguise the strength of my hand by just calling, as well as enticing the $40 straddler to come along with what will most likely be a weaker hand, with him being a $40 straddler pre-flop. The straddler makes the call, and we go 3 ways to the flop of King 8-10 Rainbow, and Big Red checks it over to me. I then bet $125 on this flop to try and deny equity from any of his ace highs that might have bricked or charge any draws that he may have. I also wanted to try to fold out any of his hands that completely missed. I'm going to have the best hand here a lot of the times, so I didn't want this flop to check through here with second pair. The straddler folds, Big Red calls the $125, and we head to the turn card, which is the 6 of hearts. When Big Red checks this turn card, I decided to check back for pot control here with second pair. I've seen Big Red play top pair fairly tricky from time to time, and I'm not going to value on myself here with second pair. So I check back, and we go heads up to the river.
Stash for him and what are the cells?
The river comes the 8 of spades, and Big Red checks it over to me yet again. And I'm fine with the pot, and I won't get called by worse hands, so I check it back, and Red announces queen high. So I take this one down here with jacks.
Queen high. Jack high.
Wow.
All the cards.
And then Big Red flips over the losing hand for whatever reason. But anyway, so I absolutely own Big Red in this hand, outplaying him by far on every street. This one hand most definitely proves that I'm 1,000 times better than Big Red at poker. Next hand. 20 minutes later, and we've reached the last hand of the night. And I have a spoiler alert. For the OGs of the channel, you guys will understand what I mean when I say I went vintage Valdez in this hand. In the last hand of the night, I look down at 4 or 5 of clubs in the big blind, and when the action gets to me, with the other 2 players already folding, I decide to just limp the $20 straddle. The straddler checks and we go heads up to the flop.
So that dates it. I played with Sai in 2021. Yeah. You seen him in the last 100 years?
The flop gets checked around and we head to the turn card, which was the 4 of spades. So I turn 2 pair. And there isn't much in the pot, so first to act, I decide to just tickle the pot for a friendly $25.
25. Raise 100.
15 seconds later, and my opponent raises me to $100? Now, come on, man. I thought this was a friendly little heads-up match. What's up with all of this I'm a pro with position trickery you're trying? Well, obviously, I make the call with 2 pair, and we go heads up to the river, which is the jack of clubs. I check it over to my opponent. Now, let's just see what he does.
Good old boys in blue. Yeah, I mean, what about people who don't have access to ID?
Last hand, boys. This guy's too good.
Now, I'm sure some of you guys who are new to this channel might have asked at the beginning of this hand, what's vintage Valdez? Well, some of you guys love it, and most of you guys hate it, but it's time for a vintage Valdez whining session.
Why are you crying?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, guys. Blame this guy. Blame this guy. He just overbet the river for $400 into a $245 pot. Now listen to me whine and complain while being in the complete blender here with bottom 2 pair.
Fuck am I? What, Red? Why you got me playing with this guy, bro? He's like 1,000 times better than me. I'm leaving after this hand, bro. Fuck.
You are?
Yes. Fuck.
Who doesn't have access to an ID and why?
God damn it. It's 4-handed, and you got me playing with these guys and this guy. You don't even.
You gotta put that in your vlog.
Fuck.
Rant.
He overbets the fucking.
Okay, enough whining. Now it's time to really think and put you guys in my head in that exact moment. So I'm going through the combination of hands he could possibly have, and I'll be honest, guys, I'm not narrowing it down much only because of how weird this hand has been played. Pre-flop, he limped his $20 straddle, so he can literally have any backdoor 2 pair combination. I think all of his flop 2 pair combinations bet the flop, and he checked the flop back. He did raise big on the turn, so some of his bluffs could be backdoor spade draws on the turn. I mean, he raised big on the turn, and then he overbet huge on the river. Some of his bluffs may just contain a dry 7. But wait, what if he actually has it? A hand that plays the way he played it is a hand like 3 deuce. I mean, he could definitely have 3 deuce. He checked his $20 straddle pre-flop. 7-8 is not impossible, but maybe he bets the flop with 7-8. In this hand, I was thinking and going over my options, but lately I've been really big on making the long-term correct decisions, meaning what play will be the correct play in the long run. Does he have it more times than not in this spot? I mean, when I call, I'm always getting shown a straight here, right? And on top of that, I am getting a terrible price, and I'm only $125 invested in this hand. But F all that, I want to be correct now. And I really think this guy is trying to make a move on me. Hell, both of the flush draws miss. Why would I even consider folding 2 pair in this spot? I really should just make the call, look like a genius, and totally own this guy. He's just trying to be a bully, and I can't allow that on my watch. No way. But then again, I think a good player might just make the discipline fold. But F all that, I want to be right now, this hand. Let's just see what I decide to do.
There's no way he's bluffing fucking win $100.
I think you took all that time to vote. All that time? I probably spent less time voting than you did. You probably didn't even vote. I did vote. Where at? The elementary school. I mean, to get your car? They don't have the all ticket buttons anymore, which I find annoying. You have to go click everybody. It's kind of annoying.
Nice hand.
Show the blog.
Show the vlog.
Show it this thing. Alright.
So I reluctantly make the discipline fold, and my opponent then proudly flips over the 10 of spades, and only the 10 of spades. Now for you casuals that aren't knee deep in these poker streets, in my opinion, that is by far the most disrespectful way to show a bluff. To not flip over both cards, but to just flip over one card that for sure lets your opponent know, hey, I just owned you. So this was basically a polite way of Kevin saying, hey Valdez, fuck you. Now in all seriousness, of course I was sick at the time because I like to always be right. But in hindsight, I'm definitely proud of myself for making the discipline fold. Because in the long run, I think a fold is the correct play in this spot. Hey, you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. But like I said during the hand, that was my last hand. So now it's time to rack up my chips, head to the cage, cash out, go outside, and see how we did.
I didn't have a squirrel in that rack.
Wait, what's up?
I didn't have a squirrel in that rack.
What you mean a squirrel?
He's like a squirrel. The Rizzler, bro.
Thought I had a squirrel in that rack.
Alright. 1,000, 13,
He's here.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2,000, 2,051.
2051. Got it. Oh, there he goes. Put him back. Why would you?
Because.
I was just making sure I had it. Can you close this for me, please?
Look, he just saved you from looking insane, bro.
I know that was random as fuck. A squirrel.
What are you talking about, a squirrel, bro?
Marshall, you any good at poker?
Hell no, I don't play.
Yeah, you look like I want you at the table.
Dude,
You got a good sense of humor. You crack jokes. Yeah, I like
You have a beer or two.
Yeah, I want him
no,
at the
it'd
table.
be fun to play, but like, I refuse to play anything for money that is not like 100% skill, bro.
Right. It is 100%.
Nah, because you can get unlucky with cars the whole night.
But over the long run in your life, is
Yeah.
it skill or luck?
No, there's definitely skill involved.
No, it's pure skill over time.
Yeah.
If you play enough times, it's pure skill.
I'm not trying to get in that deep.
And just like that, I'm out. I was in for $1,000. I was out for $2,051. It was a great day. It was nice to get the rust off because, as I told you guys, I haven't played in 3 months, over 3 months. So it's good. It's always good to come out with a win. Here we are, post live stream. Big Red, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's quite the experience, you know, being able to play on a live stream like that for your first time with all those legends. You know, I probably speak for me and Valdez when saying that. Absolutely legendary experience, no matter what the results were.
For sure, for sure. I definitely enjoyed myself. I want to thank you for inviting me to the live stream, bro, because I was born to do that. Like, I wasn't nervous even a little bit. Like, you guys heard when I came out here earlier talking about how I wasn't nervous a bit. You think I was nervous?
No, bro.
Hell no, I wasn't
This is
nervous.
what we're meant for
I
this,
told
bro.
them I wasn't nervous. I told them I was like, I'm ready for this. Like, I'm not even sweating. When he came to my table, I was super excited.
He was ready to go.
I was ready to go, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to play with them. Yeah, so it's like I should have been going on live streams. Like no nervousness at all. It's crazy. Like I'm nervous as shit. I don't want to play a live stream. I just wish it would have been longer, but you know, next time.
Yes, sir. Hey, pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, bro, did you see Fireman Scott knew who I was?
Bro, that is crazy.
Bro, he was like, "I love your vlog," and da da da. I thought that was cool, bro.
Bro, Fireman Scott is an absolute legend, man.
Legend. And he knew, and he watched my silly poker vlog. That's crazy. That's crazy. That was motivation for sure. Because I'm like, when you told me about Fireman Scott, I'm like, oh, you must have vouched for me, or you must have told him about me. But you didn't do that.
No, he brought you up. He was like, say that name? Who'd you come down here to see again? Valdez? I know who that is. That's crazy.
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. So yeah, my overall first live stream, I think I got the rust off. I'm ready to do it again. I mean, even though I wasn't never nervous from the jump, you guys got the proof. I came out here and I talked about it. I wasn't never nervous. I don't want to play on the live stream. And now I'm ready to keep it going.
And we weren't playing baby stakes either, man.
Nah, it got to 5, 10, 20.
Yeah, we were playing 5, 10, 20 up there.
It got pretty big, but yeah, we're gonna close y'all out with that one. Until the next vlog, y'all take care. Peace. And I've decided that the most entertaining way to do. And I've decided that the most entertaining way. And I've decided that the most entertaining way to narrate. And I've decided that the most entertaining way to narrate. Fuck!